Game Awards has a questionable Game of the Year winner, and looking back at 2020 and looking forward to 2021.
Gaming is about escaping into another world. You don't control the character, you are the character.
Whether I'm hunting fearsome monsters or growing the best crops, gaming is how I like to relax.
I like gaming because I can go you know?
They help me escape into a world of pure imagination. Video games. What more could you ask for? Endless possibilities.
How's it going, gamers? My name is John, aka Diggs Gamer, and I'm joined by...
It's your boy JoJo.
It's KB Hunting.
And welcome to the first episode of Off Hunting, where we talk about gaming. Today we are going to talk about the Game Awards, how they had a questionable Game of the Year winner at best, and we're going to look back at the 2020 and look forward to 2021. But we actually do have some quick news to start off with. And the first bit is that Ubisoft is making a Star Wars open world game.
Oh, yeah.
Which is interesting because EA still has an exclusive deal with Disney to produce Star Wars games. And that is going to be interesting to see how this works out because not Disney, but EA has pretty much not done anything.
Well, I wouldn't say all that. I mean, if you look at like where Star Wars Battlefront 2 started out, I mean, I'm not even going to get into like details with Fallen Order because I really still haven't like played it, and they did an okay job. They had a really good plot line around it, but at the same time, like I really try to focus more on Battlefront 2 since that's really the breadwinner when it comes to like the Star Wars games. And Battlefront 2, from where it started to where it is right now, honestly, it's become a beautiful game. With the you got every game has its, like I would say, like don't go near it zones. So like with like Battlefront 2, I honestly, in my opinion, is heroes versus villains, because you just get all the sweats in one area, and everyone at this point knows who's hasn't been nerfed as much, and then so on and so forth. Darth Vader, it's transpired downward. But I mean, as overall, it's still like a great game. I still play it mainly just like co-ops, like online co-ops with my friends, just getting it done. But it's a beautiful game. But the fact that you said EA is going to be making this game?
No, Ubisoft is going to be making this all.
That's all you had to tell me. It's even better. And this is like my reason why. If you look at Ubisoft's record, I mean, Far Cry 5 was beautiful. It was a beautiful game. And of course, every real open world Assassin's Creed. So in my opinion, Black Flag and before, like it's been, I don't want to talk about Unity, but like
nobody wants to talk about Unity.
Overall, it's just a beautiful setting. It's a beautiful atmosphere that they create. So it's gonna be a beautiful product if they're going that way, especially if they're gonna continue like the storyline from like Knights of the Old Republic, Jedi Academy.
Oh yeah.
I was about to say it might look pretty, but is it going to play?
I mean, if it plays like the role play servers on Gary's mod, I mean, yeah, I would love that. I don't know if you guys play Gary's mod a lot, but like the role
I do
play
not.
servers, there's a role play server by, I want to say, Star by Star Gaming. It's basically based off the Clone Wars story arcs. And sometimes they stray away from it. Like I remember when Doom Eternal came out, they had like this whole like Doom mission going on. So it's like the creators of the missions that they do get really creative. But if they but the world building that they did was amazing. Like I that's why I still go to their servers. I mean, I'm more on the Halo side now, but like there is a lot of like content they can build that game around. So like you could go like you could even do like a 3-story arc, or you could do like 3 different games in one. You could do like the Rebellion, dare I say it, the episode 7 through 9 Disneyverse, or you could go with the classic OG like New Hope saga and just like the OG saga and just like make something amazing out of it.
Right.
Regardless, this game's going to create and spawn a lot of memes. And I just want to say,
as all Star Wars does.
All Star Wars does, yeah. So we're already ready for it, and we haven't even seen any gameplay.
And
I mean, honestly, I haven't even like watched it, but like all I know about Star Wars is the memes.
Look, if there's anything that anyone listening can get from this podcast, it's that off hunting is for the memes.
Yeah.
We are all for the
For the
memes. I
memes.
mean, look
Oh
at
my
that.
God.
I have a JoJo character as my freaking icon. Like, if this isn't for the memes, I don't know what it's for. I mean, it's Jotaro.
Yeah, and one more thing with Ubisoft making this instead of EA. Now EA has competition to make sure that they do have good games with this license, because we all know what's happened with Madden ever since they got the exclusivity deal with the NFL. I mean, it's just
Dude.
getting worse and worse and worse as the years have gone.
Not even that. EA literally shut down Visceral Gaming, the company behind the Dead Space games.
Yeah.
And fans, especially myself, are still mad
Hmm.
because we never got a Dead Space 4. Like, Dead
Right.
Space 3 left us on a huge cliffhanger, and like we just want some closure with Isaac Clarke, man. Like, that's my boy. He's been through hell. And those who have played Dead Space 2 on hard, only using 3 save points and finishing the game without raging or anything, we all know we fought hard for that foam finger. We lived for that foam finger. Like, it's OP. We want games like that again, but EA has stained their track record so bad. It's like, what are you to do now? Are you ever gonna get it back to where you were again? You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah. Well,
Only the future will tell.
Right.
Well, moving from that, our second bit of news is that Sony has stated that the Uncharted movie and the Last of Us TV series is just the beginning with what they're going to do.
They're making a Last of Us TV series.
Yeah, they are. I think I knew about that before this came out, but yeah, they're doing that.
Let me ask you this: is it pre or post Last of Us Part 2?
I have no idea. I know nothing about this. I just know that they're making a Last of Us TV series. But I want to talk about the Uncharted movie because I am really skeptical about this movie. And
Isn't that movie gonna have Tom Holland?
yes, it's going to have Tom Holland, but it also has Mark Wahlberg as Sully.
Yes.
Ooh.
Yes.
I don't know how I feel about
Marky Mark. It doesn't matter. Marky Mark, baby.
Yeah,
Marky Mark has proven he can be a comedian.
that's true. And also with Tom Holland, he's got a lot to live up to because, number one, Nathan Drake is one of the most famous video game characters, and Nathan Fillion has already done a great job portraying Nathan Drake in the fan film. And I've watched the fan
Nathan
film.
Fillion could honestly still do the role of Nathan Drake. He's look at, like, he's the GOAT, man. I mean, look, I personally know Nathan Fillion's greatness from playing Halo, because for those who don't know, Nathan Fillion is Buck from ODST, and they brought him back for Halo 5 despite I'm just gonna leave it there, but he's great. He could fill the role perfectly. But Tom Holland, honestly, if they're gonna use Tom Holland, I feel like they're gonna do something from like before the franchise has even started.
Yeah, that's pretty much what it is. I mean, it's before
young Nathan Drake. Basically what they did for the new Lara Croft movies. Like how they revitalized it without Angelina Jolie. They're going to start at the original origin and just kind of work their way through it.
But are we going to talk about how pretty much whenever a game becomes a movie?
Oh, yeah. I was waiting for this question.
Lately
sucks.
it's been getting better because of Sonic and Detective Pikachu, but you still have to be skeptical of that because it is so tough to make a good video game movie.
The Monster Hunter movie, though.
Yeah,
oh my God. We're not even going to get into that.
The reason Mila Jovovich.
I'm a massive Monster Hunter fan.
At this
I've
point,
only seen the trailer, and I don't want to watch the rest of the movie.
I mean, at this point, Mila Jovovich.
It's done by the same guy that did the Resident Evil movies.
Yeah, because at this point, I was actually about to make a comment about that. At this point, Mila Jovovich only gets in movies that her husband directs.
Okay, moving on from one bit of Sony news to another, Sony also announced a bunch of game releases, and
like Stray.
Yeah, that's coming out in October of this year. And Stray is an interesting game. I don't know if I'll play it, but it is interesting.
Dude, I was literally just thinking about playing it because you get to be a cat. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
KB, do you know about this? Do you know about Stray?
I know it's a game where you, I guess, survive as a cat, like just make
I
friends
don't really
with
know
other
the whole
cats.
premise behind it. It just
It's
looks
like you're
it
a
looks
cat in a
beautiful.
robot world. It sounds so interesting, and I'm interested to see how they do this.
It would be interesting just for the point of view shift of you're trying to survive as a cat instead of a person.
I mean, the
Yeah.
way I really look at it, like Sony has a notoriety of making really good single player games.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, the only
Quality
thing I
control of
could
Sony is really good. Let's
the
be
only
honest.
thing I could say that could like really diminish that would be Last of Us 2, but that's really all based on like fans' perspectives. But like
Yeah.
aside from that, they make really stellar for like story based games. Another thing that I'm looking forward to personally with like Sony games is I can't remember the title of the game, but it was like kind of like a hard game in Japan, like Diggs game. Diggs, you know what I'm talking about, right? Like just like that. The one what at the at E3 they were like previewing it. It was like based in Japan. It looked exactly like.
Oh,
Like,
Neo? Was it Neo?
I don't think it was Neo. No, it wasn't Neo. It was like kind of like Japan, but it was like
Oh,
Tokyo Ghoul.
Ghost.
Yeah, it was Ghost. Yeah,
Yeah. We'll talk about Ghost later.
Ghost. I'm looking forward to Ghost. Ghost looks amazing. Will I get a PS5 before the Series X? Probably not. I'm an Xbox guy. That's just me.
How dare you
Yeah,
be an
I mean,
Xbox
that
guy?
is, huh?
How dare you be an Xbox guy?
started-
I mean, let's be fair. I mean,
Look, if PS5 gets a Sly Cooper
Xbox
5,
has a
I'll
lot to
switch.
offer to gamer. Oh,
If they give us Sly 5, I will switch on a whim. That's literally dad right there. Like Sly is dad. That's my guy.
yeah.
Or Jack and
for
Dexter.
one thing-
I would switch for Jack and Dexter too, but that's just
Fair.
subplot.
Well, you're talking about two of the big three during the PlayStation 2 era. Here's the third. Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart is going to be out this year. Not sure on a month yet, but they're saying during the first half of this month. And Horizon Forbidden West will be out this year too, during the latter half of this. During the latter
Still gotta
half.
play Zero Dawn.
Huh?
Same.
I still gotta play Zero Dawn.
I got to finish it.
I know I'm gonna get a lot of I'm gonna get a lot of slack and slander for that, but just
Once you
it's
start playing it, it is an amazing game. I started playing it. I gotta get back to it, but it is an amazing game.
same with God of War. I gotta finish God of War too.
Oh, God of War is amazing. I'm gonna try and get the platinum for it,
I'm
but
gonna-
I need to finish up a couple of other games first.
See, I'm going for the platinum for Spider-Man
Fair enough.
Fair enough.
and Friday the 13th. I've been playing Friday since beta.
I need to get the just for Monster Hunter to get the platinum. I need like all the RNG like base.
You know what
trophies.
else is coming out this year, guys? That actually, a friend of mine actually just pointed out to me. Outlast 3.
Really?
Outlast 3 will be coming out. They're going to be releasing it sometime this year, and apparently, it might be based around like witch trials. So they might be doing it in like basing it in like Salem.
All right.
We're actually going to get more into Outlast later.
And apparently, it's going to be like multiplayer.
Yeah.
For what I hear through the grapevine, that's just what I hear.
Onto a game that's going to be released in 3 days. Hitman 3 is coming out on the 20th.
Oh my god, I forgot about Hitman.
I mean, this is the completion of a
decade.
reboot.
Honestly, like a decade. What feels like a decade of reboots.
Yeah, but
We're talking to good reboots.
yeah, we'll have more on Hitman 3 later. Returnal coming out on March 19th. Huh?
What game?
It's called Returnal.
What is that?
How do I want to say it? It's like you're a space explorer that's on this. You're stranded on this planet, and it's like every time you die, the planet changes, and it looks so interesting. And I want.
So Spore.
I never played sports, so I can't comment on that.
That sounds exactly.
I played Spore.
It sounds exactly like Spore. It sounds like creature mode on Spore.
Except you're a human, and it's more like I would say
The Martian.
Like Friday, what's that? No, not Friday.
Happy Death Day.
Yeah, but instead of like you're waking up in the same place, same time, it's you're dying and waking up and it look like same planet, but it looks completely different kind of thing. It's what it sounds like. And you're trying to survive and break it.
Sounds like a paradox. I like it.
Yeah.
I really like it.
Or maybe like parallel worlds, like if you die in one, you get transferred to like another kind of thing.
Anyone who knows me in real life knows I'm a Flash fan, so us Flash fans are all into paradoxes.
Oh my God, that is, yeah.
Time travel, man. It's time travel. Speaking of time travel, sorry, had to make this little side note right here.
Go
The
for
Simpsons, the Simpsons creator is totally a time traveler. I'm sorry. The thing,
let's be honest. There have been a lot of things that The Simpsons has just predicted right. I would not be surprised if that's the case.
dude, honestly, I'm 110% convinced this man's a time. I mean, think about what he's predicted: 9/11, coronavirus, Trump going down the freaking escalator. Like, and Homer Simpson's like right there, like what? Like, it's pretty clear. Pretty clear here that he has to be a time traveler. I can't say anything else. But
yeah,
we're confirming it. We're confirming it right now.
You're
right here.
I have no part in this.
Right here.
And I have no part in this either. This is all you, JoJo.
I like to think of it more as he wants to make it as funny as possible, so he makes it as outrageous as possible. But we're just in the most outrageous timeline right now.
Yeah,
it's become a meme at this point. Like, the Simpsons are just there.
It really is.
They've been there for everything since the beginning, since we even knew about it.
Yeah.
Conspiracies, man. But here's a game I'm actually looking forward to coming out this year: Halo Infinite.
Okay, we are going to talk about Halo Infinite later on. So keep your thoughts in mind. Keep your thoughts in mind. Okay.
Alrighty.
Okay. Now here's one that was announced during that PS5 showcase. JoJo, you watched that, right?
I caught glimpses of it.
Did you watch it at all, KB?
No, I did not.
Okay, this one is coming out in 2023, and keep in mind that the showcase, I think that was either in June or July of last year. I can't remember what month was it. It was either June or July, but I can't remember exactly.
This is exactly what they did with Ghost of Tsushima.
Yeah, it's called I want to say Pragmata, I believe. And I don't know
what you're talking about.
Huh?
I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I don't know much about this game, and it's kind of weird that you announce it like 3 years before the initial release. And again, this is the initial release. It could be delayed. So
I'm gonna call it right now. That's gonna be like one of the contenders for Game of the Year, because I mean they did the exact same thing with Ghost of Tsushima.
That's true.
Look at it. It should. I mean, in all seriousness, that game should have won Game of the Year.
Yeah, we'll talk. Yeah, we'll get into more detail about that later. So, Pragmata in 2023. That's a game I want to see how that game develops. Solar Ash releasing in June of 2021. Anybody know about Solar Ash? That game?
No.
Not a thing.
It was another one during the PS5 showcase. I think it's a little bit similar to Journey. It kind of got Journey vibes from me. I don't know. I could be wrong about that. I just saw glimpses of it. Oh, here's one that I am just looking forward to, and I'm probably going to buy day one. Kena Bridge of Spirits. This is a game that I am just excited for. I just cannot wait.
I think I know which game you're talking about. It's the one with the one with the girl and the creatures and everything.
Yeah,
we're gonna more. That's cool sprites from Studio Ghibli.
Yeah. Well, again, that's another one that we'll talk about later. Here's one: Ghostwire Tokyo, releasing in October of this year. That's being made by Bethesda, right? Am I wrong?
I have no idea.
JoJo, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Ghostwire Tokyo, is that being done by Bethesda?
I'm not sure off the top of my head, but I think that was one of the ones I was personally looking forward to.
Yeah,
if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I'm not into first-person games, but it does look like an interesting game, and we'll see what happens. We'll see what goes on with that one. Now, this is a strange one. Little Devil Inside being released in July. This one has the potential to be one of the strangest games of the year. Just by the trailer, it looks strange. You guys know anything about this game?
No clue.
Not off the top of my head, no.
Sorry.
Oh my god, look up the trailer for it because it's just strange. It just looks like it's going to be a strange game, but it looks like it's also
Just by the title, it sounds strange.
You know what looks
Yeah.
strange? The graphics of Cyberpunk.
Keep that in mind, Jojo. Keep that in mind.
I always do. It haunts me in my dreams.
Yeah.
Sorry, buddy.
It's okay.
This one, which I'm a little shocked by the release date, Project Athea being released in January of 2022. This was another one that was released. This was another one. I think all of these were from the PlayStation 5 showcase. And this one is being developed by Square, and we don't know too much about it. I mean, it's still got the project, and it doesn't even have an official name, and yet it's a year away from being released. I'm kind of shocked by that.
No, it's
Yeah.
not even have a name.
Yeah.
Like, I understand that you want to get people like hyped for a new console and everything, but
This is a game that is designed for the PS5. That's exactly what they said in the trailer. And that's what got me kind of interested in this game. And I really want to see where this game goes and really what's it about. I
right.
don't know too much about it, but I mean, to have a release date a year away, and again, it could be delayed. All these games, we could get delays, but you know, that'd be really impressive if they get this game out and it becomes, you know, one of the best games of the year.
No
Right.
game didn't get delayed but should have been delayed. Cyberpunk 2077.
That got multiple delays, and we'll talk. And we're gonna move on from that news to the top 10 video games of 2020. Now we got these lists. We're going to go over 3 lists, and they're from Watch Mojo and
Yes.
the gaming channel Mojo Plays.
Yes.
So before we get into the list, I just want to say 2020 was a terrible year, probably the worst year ever. But we got some dang good video games, didn't we?
Right.
Unfortunately, a lot of the video game sales and everything were completely ostracized because of third-party sellers. So, like, some people couldn't experience, like, the full happiness that we could.
Yeah.
Right.
We say this in honor of y'all.
Yeah, I mean, so many great games came out, and the year started strong and it finished strong, if you ask me. So that's literally what I have written down.
All right, let's go through this list. Let's start from the bottom and work our way to the top.
Yeah, let's go with the honorable mentions first. The honorable mentions were Doom Eternal, Neo 2, Paper Mario, The Amagori King, Bloodstained, Curse of the Moon 2, and Crash 4, It's About Time.
Crash 4 is about time by itself. It's a meme.
I know.
I just want to say I love that they actually made that the title.
I know. That
Right.
was so cool. And the game itself is an it's an amazing game. It's a return to form for Crash. Now, completing it is really tough to do, and it will drive people crazy, but it's an amazing game.
Look, there isn't a single Crash game that doesn't drive you crazy.
Yeah, that's
Right.
true.
I mean,
That's true.
except for Crash Team Racing. Crash Team
Yeah, we
Racing.
know. Now, we know that this is going to be a good list because any other year, probably all these games would be on a top 10 list, and yet
Yes.
they're honorable mentions. So, number 10
Right.
was Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and 2. I mean,
That
that
was
was
for
just
the
a great
fans.
remake. That really was.
That was literally
Sometimes
for the
it-
fans.
Yeah.
Good to just go back to form, remake a game that you already know, just
Doesn't
update
need
the
any-
graphics.
Yeah.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, Activision did a great job.
I know I have so many friends that are skaters. Porter, they're talking about you, buddy, that literally just base their lives around skating because of Tony Hawk games. Like me and my brother, growing up, legitimately would play nonstop hours. If it wasn't MX Unleashed, it was Tony Hawk Pro Skater. And then we got Underground. And if they remaster Underground 1 and 2, I will be staying home. I will quit my job. I will
Responsible.
anything for the Underground. Like
my
Underground, the Underground games were great. Like it was pure ecstasy.
And this is during something where nobody thought Activision would make another Tony Hawk game because we thought they had lost the license after Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 5, but
The last of the few good games from THQ.
number 9 was Spider-Man Miles Morales. Now, I played Spider-Man Miles Morales, and this definitely deserves to be on this list. It probably should be higher. This was an amazing game. If you played the first, you're going to love – if you played the first and loved it, you're going to love this game as well. Miles is just a really good character, and him being in where is he? Oh God, where is he? Harlem. And the Harlem setting is amazing. I mean, graphics are amazing. It
Wait,
really is.
Talking about Miles Morales? He's from Brooklyn.
Miles Morales.
He's from Brooklyn.
In the game, he moved to Harlem.
Yeah. Oh, does he really? I haven't played it yet. So like.
Yeah. I mean, if you have a PlayStation 5, get Miles Morales. It's an amazing game.
If you
really
can get, and if you have the money, go get the deluxe one with the actual Spider-Man game and then Miles Morales. So you have both, and you can play both in order.
Playing games in order is overrated. I've always started with the second game just by pure coincidence.
I think
sometimes the sequel, most of the time, the sequel is better than the original. Let's be honest.
That's true. They know what they're doing now and what the fans want. So
they're for the fans. They are completely for the fans on that, and that's why I love about the Spider-Man games, because we've had our fair share of Spider-Man games where you just literally question why you put so much money into
Amazing
it.
Spider-Man 2.
I was actually gonna say Shattered Dimensions, but I mean,
oh, okay.
But yeah, I mean, yeah, but I mean, it's just the way that they brought it back to the limelight, and they took it a completely different route.
And keep in mind, this is Insomniac, so at the time, you probably knew it was going to be good, but you didn't know how good it was going to be.
Insomniac just has a good reputation for making good games.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about it. Yeah, I'm gonna get into Insomniac later on with the.
I can only imagine how good it would really be if they had Sucker Punch work with them.
Oh my God.
Personally, I think it would have been better, but it's all based on perspective. It's all the whole thing's like opinionated in perspective.
I mean, let's be honest. Spider-Man PS4 was a great game. It really was. I mean, there's a reason it was nominated for Game of the Year. Final Fantasy VII Remake is number 8. Now,
I'm so excited to play it.
I know I have it. I still have not. I haven't had a chance to play it yet. But keep in mind, this project had to be restarted. They had to restart this project because they were not happy with how it was going. So they restarted the whole project. And it turned into this amazing remake of a beloved classic.
Right. And to be honest, I wanted to play the original, but I didn't have a PlayStation 1. So I don't remember if it was for my birthday or for Christmas, my mom got me Final Fantasy VII. Cerebus?
Mm-hmm.
Which focuses on Vincent Valentine, or Dirge of Cerberus, which focuses on Vincent Valentine, and I could barely play it because I suck at shooting games and games where you need to use guns for a majority of the fight. So just to have the actual Final Fantasy VII remake in my possession, I'm so happy. I'm so excited to actually play the game now.
Yeah, they did Square is just. I mean, Square is one of the best game developers. Let's be honest.
Right.
Square I'm a diehard Square Enix fan. The closest I've ever gotten to a Final Fantasy game wasn't even with a Final Fantasy game. It was literally by playing Kingdom Hearts.
That's probably how some people got introduced to Final Fantasy. Let's be honest with ourselves.
Honestly, I knew the series, but actually getting to know characters from the franchise, I played Kingdom Hearts 2, and that's how I found Leon and Cloud and Sephiroth.
Yeah.
And of course, Yuffie. Luke, literally Yuffie. Yuffie is that's my girl, right?
All right, another remake at number 7, Demon Souls. I cannot believe we got a remake for that.
You know,
I could not believe that. I thought that game was left behind. I'll be honest.
I was about to say, after they did the Dark Souls remakes, but they didn't do Demon Souls, which was the first one.
Yeah, Dark Souls is like a spiritual successor to Demon Souls as I've heard.
Yeah. If from, same company, they took the Demon Souls saw how people liked it and made Dark Souls. So I thought it got left behind, in the dust, and I'm glad they polished it off.
Yeah, Blue Point did a great job with this. They did a great job with the remake. I mean, multiple people just said how much they love the game. I haven't played it yet. I might get it later, but I mean, I got a backlog of games right now that I gotta get done.
Same. I'm still playing Dark Souls 1 remake.
Yeah.
Right now.
I'm about to start the Witcher trilogy.
Nice.
Do it. I'm playing The Witcher 3 right now.
Okay. Controversial choice at number 6. Last of Us Part 2. Let's just.
Should have been lower, in my opinion.
This game should not have won Game of the Year. Now we're going to talk about the Game of the Year.
Game of the Year is a joke, and I'm putting that on God.
How did Last of Us Part 2 win Game of the Year? I'm still trying to figure that out, especially with all of the games that have been nominated. Last of Us Part 2 is probably the least deserving of that victory. Let's be honest.
I mean, dude, the Game of the Year awards, this is not the first time they've robbed a more than amazing game of an award. Like, we all remember, like, Last of Us when Last of Us 1 came out. Like, it was the same year as Grand Theft Auto 5. A lot of people thought Last of Us should have gotten Game of the Year. What happens? They give it to Grand Theft Auto 5. Why? Because it's a Rockstar game. Like, at least
Red Dead Redemption 2 didn't win Game of the Year. That was God of War, which I thought was really cool. The fact that
God of War went a completely different route than what they're used to doing, and they really brought.
They deserve that win. If you ask me, they deserve that. They deserved it.
A lot of people were like mad that God of War got that game, but like honestly, you look back at it, it's well deserving.
It was. I mean, and you just take a look at the games that were also nominated. You had Animal Crossing: New Horizons. You had Hades. You had Ghosts. God, what the heck were the other two? I think Miles Morales was one, and I'm trying to remember the other one. I cannot remember the other one.
It'll come back to us.
Yeah. Oh, Final Fantasy VII Remake. All the other games had deserved it. I just don't see it because of what they did. And this is what really got to me. Last of Us Part 2 won for Best Narrative. How could you possibly give that Best Narrative?
We got the Best Narrative, Last of Us?
Yeah.
Highly beg to differ.
I haven't even played it, so like I can't comment too much on the narrative.
I haven't played it either, but I know what happens in the story because I know what happens in the story.
Yeah, a lot of people were mad about that too.
I mean, and I was somebody that I didn't get too far in the original, but I did play it, and I do understand why people were so mad about it. Because, I mean, the first Last of Us was an amazing game on everything, and it had one of the best stories we've ever seen in a video game.
The original was like one of the best storylines I think I've ever done, and I took my time with that one too. Like, it was playing Last of Us 1 was such a slow burn for me, but when I finally sat down and did it, I fell in love, man. It was good. Yeah, but then I played Last of Us 2, not even like an hour, 2 hours of game time. Yeah. And I already want to punch multiple holes in a wall.
A lot of people were returning that game too. When a lot of people return that game, that's how you know you really.
Oh, I returned it too.
Yeah.
After the window closed for the full refund.
Aw.
Oof. Just F in the chat. Just total F in the chat there, boys.
But this is something I will say. They kept it out of the top 5, which I think was the right move. They kept it out of the top 5. Right move. Probably should have been a whole lot lower.
Right.
I personally thought it should have been a whole lot lower, but it was smart to keep it out of the top 5. There were more deserving games. And speaking of that, what was number 5?
Half-Life Alyx. This was a VR game. This was a VR game, and I don't know too much about this. Do you guys know too much about this?
I just know Half-Life games are great, but we're still waiting on Half-Life 3.
I was about to say it's gonna be
Half-Life 3 confirmed, possibly. That has to be a sign, right?
I mean, the fact that a VR game made the top 5, I think, is very telling of how good the game was because VR is really a niche. Is really a niche thing when you think about it.
That's true.
So the fact that a VR game made the top 5, they did a great job with it. Number 4, the game that probably should have won Game of the Year, Ghost of Tsushima.
That got number 4?
Yeah.
They had that at number 4.
Right.
I know.
That's a robbery and a half. Who made this list?
I was also so upset where they said, does anybody else like have open world fatigue? Like, what is wrong with open world games? They're the best ones. The
Especially
thrill of running into some place that you should not be running into and immediately getting one shot. It's great.
Like a lot of people, I feel like a lot of people thought it was gonna be like a whole nother like Sekiro. the game, but it's like Sekiro is more like a Dark Souls kind of game. When you play the first, like the introduction to Ghost of Tsushima, you're put right into the shit. You have no time to like get the controls down or nothing like that. So you're getting thrown right into the anarchy, like full like if you played Assassin's Creed Odyssey, it's legitimately like that. You're right into the war. Like
nice.
you skip boot camp immediately.
I'm gonna need to get it.
Ghost of Tsushima is great.
When I first started playing Ghost, I just fell in love with the game right away. And then when you're out of the introduction and you see what the PS4 is doing, what Sucker Punch did with that, the game looks absolutely gorgeous, and that's a reason why Ghost won for Best Art Direction in the Game Awards, and it should have won. And it should have won. It should have won, and it did win, and I was so happy when it did.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah. I mean, Ghost was an amazing game. Sucker Punch did an amazing job. I have nothing but praise for Ghost. And I haven't completed Ghost yet, but I mean, it is just an amazing game. I can already tell you that. And
Ghost is like definitely was like my top game of the year from PlayStation. Like it was honestly like I was waiting for it like 3 to 4 years to just get it in my hands, and when I did, I got it right when I got back from vacation, so I was still off when I got it, and I was just like, let's go.
Oh my god! For me, it took a while for it to get here because I ordered it online from GameStop, and it took a while for it to get here.
Classic GameStop.
Yeah.
Well, also the postal system was kind of screwed this year.
Oh yeah.
So
Number 3 was Hades, the best independent game of the year and another Game of the Year nominee.
Right. Gotta love Greek mythology.
Yeah. Yeah, I did not play Hades. Did you guys play it at all?
I haven't, but I really want to.
I heard it was good. I don't like what console is it? Is it like on strictly just play like the console?
I'm not sure what it's on. I'll be honest with you.
I think it might be on like Steam as well.
I thought it was on PC and PlayStation.
Yeah, so like I'm pulling it out right now because somehow miraculously I had my Steam up and everything. Oh yeah, baby. I like the look of that. It had a really good it had like an anime. I feel like a lot of people had like it gave off like a really cool anime vibe, and I think that's why a lot of people like the artwork that was done with it. But it wasn't like it also like reminded a lot of people, I think, of like Diablo games.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
definitely.
Oh, I was wrong. It's Switch and PC.
Switch and PC.
PC.
Oh, that's even.
And it's based on Greek mythology. If for those like who are like really big into mythology and everything, Greek mythology has the most like diverse cast of just like stories, heroes, gods. It's a beautiful mix. So the fact that they based it like around that was absolutely, and then also like made it their own. It was great. Like from someone who like went to school for like storytelling, it's just like analytically, it's beautiful. Yeah. It's a very beautiful.
Number 2 was Animal Crossing New Horizons, and I definitely see why this was on the list because this got a lot of people through the COVID-19 pandemic. It kept a lot of people sane, and there's a reason that it was nominated for Game of the Year.
It's addicting, man.
It came out at exactly the right time, and I completely agree with it being on this list.
It's so addicting. So addicting.
I need to get it.
But it legitimately just transpired. There's a whole. Have you guys ever heard the conspiracy behind like Animal Crossing games? And this actually might break the internet.
Oh no!
Really
Oh no!
has.
Do we want to know? Do we want to know? That's the question I have.
Basically the whole controversy behind it's basically a conspiracy that like it's like a fan conspiracy behind the Animal Crossing games that it's in relation to like a child, because you know like how like the main character that you always play with is a child who like gets a vacation to his island. I feel like it's a secret code for child working.
Oh my god.
And it's just like it's like the whole conspiracy just revolves around, oh, you have to use this fake and made up currency to do the stuff that we could do instead.
Oh my god.
It basically like transpires into that. That's basically the whole.
Oh,
without
God.
going into details, basically the whole gist behind like Animal Crossing games that fans have like
That's
inspired.
a twist that I wasn't expecting. But
Yeah.
I was thinking you were gonna say how it's about quarantining and how they predicted coronavirus or created
I
it
was thinking the
specifically.
exact same thing.
Thank you, because you're stranded there on an island with nothing but animals. You're the only person there.
But
And the
animals
only
aren't even
other
safe.
people
Yeah, that's
that come there are friends that you've met along the way, you know, or like in real life.
Oh,
the
yeah, my
only
friend
ones
from
that-
all right. Let's stop talking about this before Animal Crossing fans really try to knock down our doors.
I'm an Animal Crossing fan. I love
I'm
this
also
game,
an Animal Crossing
but I'm
fan.
just
Animal Crossing fans are well aware of this conspiracy.
Oh, okay.
they're probably going to be in the comment section just being like, no, it's really this. Da, 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 da.
Okay.
Yeah, they'll like put this like huge like essay of a comment.
All right.
If we don't get any Titan Talks in our comment section, I'll be disappointed.
All right. Number one, and I could not believe that this was number one. I was saying, why? Cyberpunk 2077 as the number one game of 2020. No.
With everything
It is
released with,
nicknamed Cyberbug.
All right, I'm gonna head out.
I mean,
get back here.
Come on. Come
Jojo, you
on.
played the game. Jojo, you played the game.
I played the game.
got this.
I played the game. Let me, everyone, ladies and gentlemen, let's insert the ESPN Thursday night theme here. Cyberpunk, despite its excellent story, there were so many flaws. There were so many like noticeable cuts within this diamond of a game.
Keep in mind, this game took 8 years to make, and they still could not get it right.
There's a lot of flaws that went into this game. The most obvious flaw being that the graphics were not even made to be playable for current gen consoles, or better yet, AAA game capable PCs. There was a lot of glitches when it came out. I mean, every game has glitches, but this had an absurd amount of glitches.
Oh my god.
I was lucky to play it without that much glitching going on.
God.
I personally feel lucky within the exclusive club of people to actually get through and play part of the game right. The game itself is amazing. The only thing that really stood out to me, and I tie this back to like Ubisoft games. It's like, do you remember in like Far Cry 5, like you shot the tire deflates and the car tilts, and then if you shoot water or throw a grenade in the water, like you can see the splashes, you can see like the huge like geyser shots of water go up. You don't even get that with Cyberpunk. You go in the water, it's basically like it's like what you see is like when you get sent below the map on Grand Theft Auto 5. It's like it reminds me so much of that, and it's just like it's not even like you're swimming. It's literally just bobbing. It's like you're bobbing up and down. It's like basically like you're going breaststroke the entire time for anyone that's done, like myself, competitive swimming. It's nerve-wracking. It's a fun game, but there's a lot of bugs that they need to fix for it to be to where they wanted it to be at release. It's a lot they need to fix. It should have been number one. Based on the graphics, absolutely not. Like, games on release should be at least 90 to 95% ready to play straight out the gate.
I was about to say, it should not have
Ghost should have won.
so many
Yeah,
glitches.
I
that
agree.
you
I
can
agree.
barely play
Ghost
it.
should have been number one. So Jojo and I don't agree. What KB? What do you
Right.
think should have been number one?
She's gonna say Final Fantasy.
Gonna steal my thunder like that, sir.
I'm sorry.
Oh, were you really gonna pick that?
Yeah. I love Final Fantasy.
Okay.
We can't hate her for being a Final Fantasy fan.
No,
It's a great
we
franchise.
cannot. I mean, I'm a Final Fantasy fan ever since I played Final Fantasy 15. I mean, that's why I picked the Final Fantasy.
Especially if you pre-ordered it, you could be the Tiger, and that's like
All right.
everyone's favorite.
All right, moving on from 2020 to 2021, we have two lists, 10 2021 games that might suck, and then the top 10 most anticipated games. Now, there are some games on both lists that are the same. So some games are on both lists.
Okay.
Let's talk about the games that are like most anticipated before that, or like the games that are like, what was the 2 lists again? I'm sorry.
Top 10 most anticipated games and top 10 games that might suck. I was going to go with the top 10 games that might suck, but we can go with most anticipated games.
Let's do most anticipated first, and then let's bash down the games that might suck.
Yeah. Okay. So 2021 really has the potential to just keep doing what 2020 did. Just have it.
Take the momentum and run with it.
Exactly.
Keep the wheel spinning.
Yeah. And the 3 honorable mentions that they had were Psychonauts 2, Deathloop, and Ghostwire Tokyo.
Ghostwire Tokyo is about to be one of the greatest games of 2021.
And Deathloop is a really interesting.
Deathloop looked amazing.
Yeah. And Psychonauts 2, I mean, people have been waiting for that for years. So, and I'm hoping for the fans of Psychonauts that is a really good game.
I remember seeing the Psychonauts, and I was like, hold on, is this what I think it is? Are they bringing this back?
Yeah. I never played the original, but I might just play.
There was another game that they brought back from like the depths of the old PlayStation archives, and I can't remember the title, but I'm happy that they're bringing it back for a new generation of gamers. Like that's what Sony does that a lot. If you guys haven't noticed, bring back games from like past generations of consoles for the newer generations.
Yeah, this is gonna be. Yeah.
Like
right,
that's like go on.
Okay. Number 10 is Far Cry 6.
Yeah.
Now I really like the person that's doing the voice of the villain. I mean, I feel like he's perfect for a Far Cry game. I cannot remember his name.
I know he was in Once Upon a Time, and he was not just the genie of the lamp, but the genie that got stuck inside the mirror.
Yeah,
of the evil queen. He was the man in the mirror. So what people, and I don't want that to be confused with the man in the mirror from Shrek.
Yeah,
he says, "Oh, they're on their honeymoon." But like, he does a really good villain, not just because he can be real methodical, but because he's like, and this really stands out for Mandalorian fans. Like, he is like the main bad.
Right.
Yeah. He's the big bad.
It's a Far Cry game, and Far Cry, I mean, they got a good track record, so I think Far
Cry makes great games. The Far Cry franchises have had nothing but great games.
Yeah.
Personally, my favorite is Far Cry 3 because when you got something new on a tattoo, you actually see it getting burned into your skin.
Hitman 3, number 9, finishing up the trilogy.
Yes.
In a big way. That's what I have written down. And the Hitman series has fascinated me for years. I've never played a Hitman game, but it's always fascinated me because
it's a lot of fun.
Yeah. It just looks like it's a lot of fun for people. It just looks like it's a lot of fun. I just never gotten around to play it.
The reason I know
played a little bit from PlayStation 2.
Yes.
But I've never been good at like stealth type games or like disguising myself or like even like shooting. But I'm really excited to try it with Hitman 3. Because I platinumed Assassin's Creed Odyssey earlier this year.
That's extremely hard to do.
Shut up, JoJo. I tried to do stealth in that game, and I was pretty good near the end there. Like, I started to get the hang of it, so I'm excited to try.
Yeah, that's part of the reason why I've never played a Hitman game, because I've never been good with stealth games. I've never been good with stealth in games.
As someone who's been through a lot of stealth games, like for me, the stealth game that I got really good with really easily was Sly Cooper.
Yeah, that's
because
like
the only
stealth bad game, JoJo.
First off, it's a great franchise.
I want to play it.
I recommend it. It's amazing. But like, it wasn't just that. It was also like the first Assassin's Creed game I ever played was Brotherhood. Mm-hmm. And that's what got me to fall in love with the Assassin's Creed franchise. Mm-hmm. Not just because perfection was really everything, but because like the amount of time they put into the stealth element. Like, for anyone who's played in old Assassin's Creed multiplayer lobbies, you gotta be on your A game at 100% of the time. Like someone could like, you can miss a target and they'll be right behind you. Like, you didn't even know they were there. And next thing you know, that you get shanked in the back. Like, it's great. And it's with the new Hitman games, I played a little bit of them. It's amazing. because it's not just like, oh, you have to sneak around and take out him. You got to be real methodical about it. You got to plan every part of your entry, exit, and attack
Right.
to a T, and you have to have it nailed down and memorized like a chess game. It's awesome. It really, for anyone who's a Hitman fan, they probably agree with me that they love the franchise. I personally need to put more time into like finishing the game for myself, but they have the right amount of tokens in the pot, and they're about to cash in the entire casino with this conclusion of the trilogy. It's gonna be a one for the books.
Yeah. All right. Number 8 was Kena Bridge of Spirits. This is one that I'm most excited for.
Yes.
I mean, this is Ember Labs, who did the Majora's Mask fan film. And when I first saw the trailer for this game, I was like, I need to have this game. I need for this to come out.
It looks super cute.
I know.
And it looks like kind of Pikmin like esque, where you control the little guys.
Yeah, this is definitely a game where I think a lot of people are really going to fall in love with. And this is Ember Labs' first game. And you got to be a little skeptical when a studio does their first game, but you know what? I am just all hyped for this game, and I can't wait for it to come out.
Like, it clearly looks like they've put effort into it at the very least. So hopefully they do good.
Okay, number 7 is Dying Light 2. I am not big into zombie games. Are you guys at all?
Dying Light 2. Dying Light 2's been on the radar for years, man. Honestly, I feel like it's gonna bomb. I honestly think it's gonna bomb because of it's like if there's any rap fans in here, it's like an album that's been overhyped. Like, it gets overhyped for so long that it loses its hype completely.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like that's what's gonna happen with Dying Light, because Dying Light 1's become such like you put mods in it now. Like, it's become such like a fan favorite that like I feel like people are gonna ride that hype and expect that in like Dying Light 2, and it's gonna completely burst their bubble. It's gonna completely pop their dirty bubble. And I'm sorry to I have to make a SpongeBob reference with that one. I'm sorry, but like they're gonna pop the dirty bubble, and it's gonna be nothing but the inside of a dirty bubble. Like it's gonna be. I feel like it's going to be a whole crap show waiting to happen, honestly.
Number 6 is Chris Tales. And this might be the Hades of 2021, as in the best independent game of the year. And I got to admit, this game looks really interesting. It looks like something that a lot of people are going to like.
I really like the art style and like the strategy of switching between past, present, and future is really interesting. Plus, I always like turn-based strategy games. So
I think this game is really gonna have a big fan base when it does come out, and I can't wait to see what happens. Number 5 is Vampire: The Masquerade Bloodlines 2. The first game is considered one of the best vampire games ever made. A lot of people consider it the best vampire game ever made, and this one could be better than the first.
You know, fans of the series have definitely been waiting, so if it bombs, that might be the last game in the series as well.
Yeah. Number 4 is Hogwarts Legacy, but that got delayed to 2022. But this could be
I've heard about
Spider-Man. Huh?
I've heard about this one. This one has a lot of promise behind it.
This one, it could be the Spider-Man PS4 of the Wizarding World.
Wizarding World.
I definitely want to get it, but I'm definitely also buying it used because J.K. Rowling is not a good person, and I don't want to give her money.
She is not involved in the project.
Oh, she's still got the licensing, though. Yeah. She's still going to get money from it, even if she's not involved directly.
She's the originator. She's the originator. She has every tie with it.
Okay, guys, we have one more person joining us right now.
Hey,
there we go. Okay, introduce yourself. Go right ahead.
Hey, it's Devin or
All right. Talking about the top 10 most anticipated games in 2021, we were talking about Hogwarts Legacy, which got delayed to 2022, and how it might be the best Harry Potter game ever made.
Oh, definitely.
How it could be the Spider-Man PS4 of the Wizarding World video game series. Keep in mind, this game is going to take place before Harry Potter.
It's like the 1800s, right?
Yeah. and I'm really interested to see how this comes together. This is a game I'm really keeping my eyes on.
Right.
I love Harry Potter. My whole family is like Harry Potter nerds. We have
My sister's getting me a
all the
Gryffindor
books, we
cloak
have
for
all the movies.
Christmas.
Huh?
Eee.
So yeah, this is definitely a game that is going to be one a lot of people pay attention to,
Right. It was a huge part of like most childhoods, I'd say. So
especially with our generation.
yeah.
Especially with our generation.
We let's be honest here. We want another Gears game.
Oh, Gear 6? Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
Yeah.
All right, number 3, Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart. First game since the movie tie-in. That was the only game. That was the only Ratchet and Clank game on PS4. And Ratchet and Clank is one of the most consistent franchises of all time. Insomniac just keeps making good Ratchet and Clank games, and Insomniac is pushing the PlayStation 5 to its absolute limit. It looks like it. What a shock.
Can I be
Insomniac
honest here?
Pushing the console to its limit. What are the odds?
Can I be honest here?
What?
Go ahead.
They need to remaster Ratchet Deadlocked.
Yeah.
They need to remaster Ratchet Deadlocked. That was my game, man.
Yeah,
That was my game.
I mean, Insomniac has been pushing the PlayStation to its limits ever since the first PlayStation. I mean, they pushed it to its limits with the Spyro trilogy. They
Oh,
literally.
dude. Have you heard the news about like Spyro?
No.
So people have been modding Spyro to make him like a plump, fluffy dragon.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Oh god.
Ratchet and Clank. This is another game where I'm probably going to pick it up day one because I love Ratchet and Clank. I love Ratchet and Clank. I love Sly. I love Jack. I love those, and I call them the big three of the PlayStation 2 era.
They are the big three of the PlayStation.
They are, and I cannot wait for this game to come out. The story
Sucker
looks
Punch.
great. The gameplay looks amazing. I mean, Insomniac, one of the most consistent video game developers out there. I think they are so underrated.
Sucker Punch, please give us Sly 5. We've been waiting long enough.
Okay, number 2, Horizon Forbidden West, and really, I mean, do we even have to say why it's number 2?
Dude, I saw crocs in it.
Huh?
They put crocodiles in it and they put like mechanical crocodiles in it. That's all I had to see. I was like, oh, there's mechanical crocs now. I can go crikey.
You can go full Steve Irwin now, guys.
I can go full crocodile and they're like crikey. That's
Oh
a
my
big metal. That's a big metal chomper right there.
I'm gonna poke it with a stick.
Yes.
I'm so terrible with accents, though. I'm sorry.
That's just gonna.
I don't think any one of us can do
Oh,
good
really
accents. I don't know if any one of us can do good accents.
Crikey.
Okay, you can.
That's not a knife. This is a knife.
All right.
I need to play the first one, though.
I'm about to go.
I got to
full
complete the
crocodile.
first one. I am
Yo,
really
dude.
on the first one. I still have not completed it, and I got
Look,
to.
look, Meliodas still hasn't beaten Spider-Man.
Oh, I haven't.
What?
He's
I
so
didn't
far
even-
Talking
behind.
about Miles Morales earlier.
He's He's an Xbox head like I am. We
Yeah,
can't-
I'm more Xbox.
There's no hate here. We are Xbox boys.
Speak for yourself.
We have 2 PlayStation and 2 Xbox. I think that's a good match.
It's a good match. It creates a lot of perspective.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I know 3 of us have a Nintendo Switch. Do we all have Nintendo Switches?
Yeah, we
Dude.
all do. Joey
Dude, we
has a
should-
bike, though.
We were actually thinking about doing like Let's Plays, so we could all do like a Smash Bros. Tony.
Oh my god, that'd be so cool if
Oh
we
my
that'd be
god.
great.
That'd be
Just
so cool.
Set up the
I'll have to
Discord.
get the game, though.
All right, guys, let's get back on track. We still have number 1 on the most anticipated. We still have the games that might suck. Resident Evil Village is number 1.
Yes, absolutely.
Yes,
That's
definitely.
that's going.
Yes,
that's good.
Definitely. I mean, after Resident Evil 7 Resident Evil 7, after the 2 and 3 remakes, Resident Evil has come back to form.
Dude, I can't
And
even.
Resident
talk about
Evil has
Resident
just
Evil
done a
after this, dude.
complete 180 after almost destroying the franchise with number 6. Okay, that might be over exaggerating a little bit.
6 wasn't
but
that bad.
6 wasn't bad at all.
it's not that. I don't think it's that it was a bad game. It's just
It
that
just wasn't horror. It was more action oriented.
yeah, and that's
than
what fans
horror.
just did not like. So I might have over-exaggerated on that, but people just
I haven't even finished Resident Evil 2. My friends still clown me about it.
Yeah, you bum.
I'm not
Come
into
on,
horror
now.
games. I've never played a Resident Evil game, but I
Dude, it
watched a
gives me
lot of
PTSD, man.
I've never played a Resident Evil game, but I've watched playthroughs, and I understand why people love the series so much because of what it did.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't think I could ever play one though. I'm so terrible at horror games.
I don't even want to touch Resident Evil 3 because Nemesis. I feel like Nemesis is gonna come at me
Beat
just
that.
like.
I feel like I would die. I feel like I would die in that game.
I would have a harder time with Nemesis than Mr. X. Don't give it to you. And please,
All right, so that was
when
the-
you insert that audio clip, please just for like the YouTube video, please include like a montage of X gonna give it to you. Mr. X gonna give it to you.
Wish I could.
That's an only request. It's just it's a high request, but I it might not be met, but at least I put it in the.
I don't think I'm gonna be able to do that, my friend. I don't think I'm gonna.
X gonna give it to you. What?
Maybe we can
Copyrighted.
Maybe we can do effects later on.
That's what you hear and listen.
All right. So, what do you guys think of the list? And for
It's a bad list because Monster Hunter Rise is not on it.
It's a bad list because Halo 9 isn't on it.
Halo Infinite.
No, I'm talking about Halo 9. Title to BD.
okay, so and for the person that just joined us, number 10 was Far Cry 6, number 9 Hitman 3, Kena Bridge of Spirits, number 8 Dying Light 2, Chris Tales, Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines 2, Hogwarts Legacy, Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart, Horizon Forbidden West, Resident Evil Village, and 3 honorable mentions: Psychonauts 2, Deathloop, and Ghostwire Tokyo.
What about Back for Blood?
Back for Blood should be on there as well as Halo
That's the
Infinite.
most anticipated game ever. Left 4 Dead 2 went down in history as one of the greatest PC games ever.
Ever. And the mods are still fun, right, Melly?
Yes.
Yeah.
Back for Blood has to be a recommendation as well.
Dude,
Well, what
I
game are
got
you-
some good mods.
Okay, so what game are you guys most excited for this year? And this is
Back for Blood.
coming out this year.
Back for Blood for sure. After that, Halo Infinite. Because I mean, it's like we honestly should be talking a little bit more about Halo Infinite because
We're gonna get to that later. We are gonna get to that later.
Okay, big
Don't
bets.
worry.
Because
Don't worry.
I have a full.
Don't worry.
college.
We're talking about Halo Infinite later on, JoJo.
Like I'm going for my PhD for this one. I have a whole essay ready for this one.
Okay, I got Kena. Kena has to be the game that I'm most excited for. I mean, you have no idea how I can't even speak into words now how excited I am for this game. I can't wait.
Right.
What about you, KB?
I think it would be Kena, Bridge of Spirits, Chris Tales, but definitely Monster Hunter Rise. Like that's top list. Monster Hunter.
You know what? Yeah, the only disappointing thing I have is just that Hogwarts Legacy is getting delayed to 2022. I mean, that's just a little disappointing for me. But I do understand. I mean, this has been tough lately, the pandemic, and games are going to get delayed. I mean, we just know a lot of games have been getting delayed. All right, moving on from most anticipated games to the 10 games that might suck. Again, some of these we're gonna be on the most anticipated. Why don't we get those out of the way right now?
Okay.
The games that were on that list. So Hogwarts Legacy was an honorable mention, and I do understand that because
It's Harry
let's
Potter.
be honest, Harry Potter games have been a little hit or miss, but I think this one's different. I do think this one.
It shows that it's different, but at the same time, it's tied in with Harry Potter games.
Yeah.
So expectations are at an all-time low, if not lower.
Right.
Yeah.
We all remember Chamber of Secrets for Game Boy Advance.
I was about to say the only other Hogwarts game I played was Harry Potter Order of the Phoenix, which stuck pretty well to like the original like movie and like story beats. So you're kind of just playing through the movie.
I don't even
So it
think
wasn't
like
terrible, but it wasn't great.
not even just that. Like I don't even think it's just like the games, like the movies games all together. It's like Harry Potter. Like even if you play like the Lego Harry Potter games, I tried it one time and it was confusing as hell. It's like it's a lot.
The only one I've ever played was Chamber of Secrets
Oh, the Chamber of Snakes.
on PS2, on PlayStation 2.
Oh, the Chamber of Snakes.
All right. So Hogwarts Legacy was an honorable mention. Far Cry 6 and Resident Evil Village were on the list. And another game that we talked about earlier, Returnal, was on the list. want to talk about Returnal first because they made an interesting point that this game needs to stand out because the change in environments is interesting, but this is a game that has to stand out. But
There's a lot of sci-fi shooters out there.
exactly. But this is Sony. This is Sony. I mean, I think this is a Sony exclusive, so I think we're in good hands.
I mean,
I could be wrong.
we remember Prey.
Which Prey are you? Which Prey are you talking about?
Xbox is coming out with Stalker 2. Oh.
Why don't we talk about that one right now? Actually, let's talk about the other two, and then we'll talk about Stalker 2. That was on the list too.
Stalker 2.
Yeah. Far Cry 6. They mentioned that, and this was from Mojo Plays. They mentioned that it could be similar to other Far Cry games, which is fair. But I mean, if you're fans of the Far Cry game, I don't know if that's going to be too much of a problem.
I was about to say, if you're a fan of the game series and you like what they're already doing and you want more of it, it's fine that the games are similar. But also, if they change something and like really anger the fans, they have a chance of losing their entire fan base. Exactly.
And I feel like they're not just going to be
with Resident Evil 6.
But what they're doing for this whole the whole plot line of the game is honestly a really smart play because if you think about it, what does the plot remind you of? Just Cause. It reminds you of the Just Cause games. And if
I've never played a Just Cause game, so I would not know.
Just Cause is a lot of fun, not for the game, like the plots alone, but because of the stuff that you can literally just do. Like the amount of times I put thrusters onto a cow and sent them flying into oblivion alone is it's me, dude. This is literally why I watch GameSpot videos because of the stuff that people be doing to cows. It's great. That was why I love watching idiots play games. The videos are great. But like Far Cry 6, if it's gonna be anything like Far Cry 5 or Far Cry 4, even for the love of God, I hope so. Far Cry 3. It's going to not just expand on the great single-player campaigns, but even if they adopt some of the ideologies behind Far Cry 3, they'll have like a solid 4-player co-op experience with like the best graphics that they could possibly provide and the realism that people expect from a Far Cry game.
Okay.
I'm happy about this.
Resident Evil Village was on that list. I think that is a little fair.
It's a nut. It's
a little fair because we've never seen them repeat a protagonist, and this is the first time that they're doing that, which is kind of interesting. They've never done that before, and they're doing that right now. When?
Leon, Claire, Jill.
Yeah.
When did they do Leon in back-to-back games? I'm talking back-to-back games.
Oh, back-to-back games?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I said back-to-back, or at least I meant to.
I was about to say, I don't think you said back-to-back the first time.
Okay, my bad.
Fair.
I meant to say back-to-back. But yeah, they've never done that with back-to-back characters before. Back-to-back games, the same protagonist. So it's gonna be interesting how that happens.
I mean, just seeing the trailer alone, I didn't know what that was. I was watching this with my buddy Shane, and I was like, "Wait, hold on, what the hell is this?"
I couldn't figure it out either. It's like,
and they surprised us with like Resident Evil Village. I was like, call the voice. we're going back. We're going back, and we're gonna have a good time with this.
What has happened to Chris Redfield? That is something that's going to be on every gamer's mind until this game comes out.
He's been trapped in a. I hate bringing up the movie franchise, but basically what they did with people from the movie franchise, they kept them in cryo chambers.
Okay. Moving on to you wanted to talk about this Stalker 2.
Yes.
Yeah.
Meliodas.
Basically, Stalker 2. Have you ever played what is it, Metro?
No, but
My
I have
friend
heard
has.
I have heard it's similar.
That's basically what Stalker 2 is.
Yeah, and the video mentioned that it's been 15 years since the original Stalker.
Yeah, it's been on
Metro. Metro was like the real predecessor to Stalker. And the Metro games were amazing.
Yeah, so we'll see what happens with Stalker. These two games I'm going to talk about because it's literally the same reason. The Outlast Trials and the Dark Pictures Anthology House Ashes this is what the video said. The first games were amazing, but the second games haven't recaptured that magic. You think that's fair?
Honestly, my friend is like an affiliated streamer on Twitch, and her real claim to fame were with the Tark anthology games.
Mm-hmm.
Like she went through, I think, Man of Medan first, and like that was like a great experience for her playing that with her boyfriend, who like they're both really good friends of mine. And then like the second game she did through streams, and it was just like it doesn't have like the real thought, but like the ending was like a real like a real plot twist, and like I was happy that I was actually like watching it that day, and I actually like I was like, hold on, what? Like it kind of like blew my mind a bit. Like what was the other game? Like not the
Outlast Trials.
Outlast Trials. As an Outlast fan, I think it has a lot of potential, and I think it's really going to succeed if they play their cards right. It's all about how the company itself like plays their cards, because like there's a lot of like skepticism with like with Outlast 2. Outlast 2 personally scared the shit out of me. Like I'm still playing Outlast 2 to this day.
Okay,
but it's gonna be a wild ride, like any Outlast game.
Oh, let me go through the other 3 honorable mentions. So Rainbow Six Quarantine, The Medium, and Prince of Persia Sands of Time. And Prince of Persia Sands of Time, I think, should have been on the list, not an honorable mention, because it just does not look like a next gen game. It looks like a game that's stuck in the past. It really does. And the fact that it's coming out so soon, I don't know if we should be excited.
I was about to say, they should probably delay it just to bring the graphics up to speed.
They should delay to like kind of boost the graphics a bit for next gen consoles, but overall keep the plot line the same, because if anyone's played any Prince of Persia game, they know they're in for a great game.
Yeah.
Rainbow Six, I kind of like the. For me personally,
Rainbow Six Quarantine has the most awkward name for the time period that we're in.
Oh, dude, try playing
just like
Infected.
Far Cry 5 had the most awkward plot.
Try playing Halo Master Chief Collection, a game of Infected on the map Quarantine on Halo Reach.
All right, moving away from the honorable mentions, back to the list. No More Heroes 3. And here's a game that nobody wants to be mentioned with. Duke Nukem Forever.
Here we
go. That's what they're saying. Is this franchise still going to be able to make it after not having a game for I don't even know how long?
I feel like Duke Nukem's a meme at this point.
Yeah, pretty much. And no game wants to be the next one. So No More Heroes 3, definitely one I would probably wait for the reviews to come out for before getting it.
Right.
I concur.
Lord of the Rings Gollum. Why Gollum?
I was about to say
2 words.
My brain. No. Like, why would they even like? I understand that Gollum's like a good, like, tragic character. Like, he's got a good backstory, but he spends like most of his time
in the cave for killing people.
I mean, like, either being captured and tortured for information about where the One Ring now is, which I think, if I'm remembering the video I watched, you're actually seeing him escaping from Mordor. And then, but he also gets recaptured by Legolas's dad, Thranduil, and gets captured again, like, and imprisoned again. And that's why Legolas is even at the Council of Rivendell.
Yeah, I don't know how they're gonna make a game with Gollum. I really don't, especially.
I feel like it's gonna have a lot of stealth elements. I feel like it's gonna be.
Yeah, it's gonna have a lot of stealth elements. I just don't know how they're gonna pull this off. If they pull this off, that's impressive. But
I feel like it's gonna be like a Last of Us game without like the excessive violence.
Yeah,
like it's gonna be like a lot of dodge.
The Smeagol Gollum alter ego aspect very well, but I feel like if they can't pull that specific part off very well, the entire story is going to be extremely disjointed.
Yeah. All right. 2 more games to go, and this one I really want to talk about: Gotham Knights.
Yes.
And made by the same people that did Arkham Origins. And one thing I did not like in the Mojo Plays video was that they were talking about Arkham Origins, and they made it seem like Arkham Origins was this terrible game, and it was not a terrible game. It just wasn't on the same level as the rest of the Arkham series.
Because a different studio made it.
Yeah, and
that was the main thing.
Yeah,
Arkham Knights
Arkham Origins
definitely
was a good game. I really did.
Gotham Knights definitely has like a different feel to it, but in a good way.
Yeah, I think Gotham Knights might be a really good game.
Personally, I'm getting Gotham Knights not just because of the like what they're doing, but because like you think about it, you're not going to be using Batman, so you're not going to be used to the same old story.
Yeah.
Like, but you get to use Red Hood, you get to use Nightwing.
You can use Robin. You can use Batwoman.
Exactly.
Batgirl. Batwoman's a different character.
Exactly. So like you get an amount of diversity, and you're never falling behind. It's like it's not like you're playing Injustice 2 and you gotta level everyone up differently. Like it's not like that. Like you actually like get them up. Like they increase at the same pace, so that way, like let's say like you're playing, like if me and Meliodas are playing, and like I'm like Red Hood one night and he's Nightwing, and then we swap another night, we're still on the same page.
Yeah, I think this game is going to be. Yeah, I don't know if it really deserves to be on the list. I mean, maybe it does, but I just think these other games, there's a good reason. With this one, I'm a little questionable on that. Probably, where do we place that with Sands of Time, to be honest? But I do understand. I just don't fully agree with it. Okay, here it is.
Number 10.
Halo Infinite.
Yeah,
Let me just say this. It makes sense because
it does
already
make
been
sense.
delayed, and this is a game that really has to be good.
I mean, I feel like it's at number 10 specifically because when they showed what was it, alpha gameplay?
Well, I don't know
if Xbox event.
Well, I'm not entirely sure if it's like number 10 because they didn't really do like numbers on it. They just listed the games. It was at the end of the video, but I don't know what that meant. It was the number 10 or the number 1 or just one of the games that or just
it was just there. It was just kind of there. I get you.
Yeah.
I mean, my whole thing with Halo Infinite is when they revealed like the actual gameplay footage at the Xbox event and everything.
I watched that.
It was very much like underdeveloped.
Yeah.
And like, I mean, they have a really good concept. I love that they're introducing. I love. Yeah, it was a pre-alpha. Like, I love that they were doing. Like, I love that they're kind of like starting to like incorporate the open world.
Yeah.
Into it. Like, I think that has a lot. There's a lot of ways that you could go right, and there's a lot of ways that you can go wrong. But from what they displayed, it had way more promise than it did. Like,
yeah.
You know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like,
I know what you're saying.
But like, especially that I feel like a lot of people are gonna be confused because like if you're basically like at a loss, like you never played the Halo Wars games, like the Spartan Strikes.
Yeah.
Personally, I kind of got out of Halo Wars because it was more of like a Dawn of War kind of thing for me.
Mm-hmm.
But that doesn't mean like if they write the script right or they nailed the script down, unlike Halo 5. They got something going for it. And the Chief is finally going to be waking. He's going to be waking up because they need Master Chief. It's the Master Chief. But like, there's a lot of expectation as a Halo fan that I want this to go. Like, first off, I want the Flood to be reintroduced.
Mm-hmm.
It's been at least a decade.
Banished, though.
Mm-hmm.
They're going with the Banished.
I know they're going with the Banished, but that doesn't mean that you can't just like. That you can't like not include.
Didn't they wipe the Flood out?
No, the Flood is still out there.
They didn't wipe the Flood out?
There's multiple like seeds of the Flood. Because remember, they haven't destroyed all the Halo rings. So like, and even that so like the Flood don't just live on Halo rings. They literally are able to survive in space. They're the end game. They're end game. They are the end game. Like. If they play their card, like what I would love to see is Cortana, because like I'm pretty sure like if I might be wrong in saying this, but the prophecy behind like the Flood's return is that an evil AI will assist them in bringing them back to their glory, which with the end of Halo 5, Cortana is basically like one of the villains now, which it's poison coming out of my mouth. but like I feel like evil Cortana, because she escaped, first time we've ever seen a villain escape, aside from Halo 2.
Mhm.
Like, I feel like to put an end to her broken image of like John being there to help her, she's gonna bring the flood, because they're gonna basically kiss ass to helping her out and try to almost come super close to knocking out the entire like existence of humans, with the exception of Spartan 117 kicking ass with his friend that they showed in the teaser and in like the small little gameplay that they had. And I feel like at some point, maybe possibly this could happen, but the Banished and Chief might actually team up to defeat Cortana and the Flood. I personally would not be opposed to seeing that. I think it would be awesome, but it's still a long shot. It's a real long shot. Especially I just really hope they give the option of like bringing back classic controls, because the hard switch from like Halo 4 and previous to Halo 5, it was kind of more like a turn off personally than it was a turn on. Controls are everything.
All right, let me ask you guys this. This will be the last thing that we talk about with Halo.
So sorry to ramble, by the way. It's just I'm
No.
passionate.
Do not apologize for that. You are a fan of the game, and you're probably speaking to just about every fan of Halo. If this game is bad, does this ruin Halo's legacy at all?
I mean, it's kind of
I'm
already
asking
been
everybody
tarnished.
this. I want everyone to say something on this.
I mean, honestly, it's already kind of been tarnished by Halo 5. I mean, Halo 5 had a good story. It had like a decent story to it, but it's just like it was rushed.
Mm-hmm.
It was extremely rushed. Like it was probably one of the quickest campaigns Halo's ever had, and that's a lot to say. That has a lot of like deep meaning behind it, because when people think of Combat Evolved, Halo 2 and Halo 3, even Halo 4, there was like a lot of deep gameplay, a lot amazing soundtracks. Even Halo Reach had its awe-inspiring moments. Like if they tackle that like they tackled those like 4 or 5 games, like if they strive away from what Halo 5 was doing, they have a real shot at bringing it back. And we saw that a lot when it was initially teased, because they were bringing back the classic like concept art back.
Mm-hmm.
They're bringing the original concept art back. That's what I really love to see, that they're actually like listening to fans and putting their like actual thoughts into actual presentation. But they need to work out the bugs. They really need to work out the kinks and make sure they have something real down pat that the fan base, not just for console but also for PC, is going to love. Because it was like a year or two, like last year, they introduced PC game, like the actual like they brought back actual PC play for like all the Halo games that were put in the Master Chief Collection. And not even just that, they're also talking about like putting 4-player co-op into the games that were only for like 2 people. So there's a lot riding on it.
Yeah.
And they need to get it down pat right, or they need to take a hike. It's literally Karate Kid 2 live or die.
Okay.
I was really thinking for like any game on the list, like, yeah, the game might suck, but if the fan base is strong enough, they're gonna want the good game. They're gonna keep pushing for it. So I don't think even if the game does suck, I don't think it's gonna be the death of any franchise. I think people are still gonna push it out for like the future. Like this game might suck, but
it's that no matter what, it's gonna spawn memes.
Yeah, 100%.
Mm-hmm.
So to go towards that, speaking of Gears, right? Or Gears in general, they had Gears of War Judgment, right? The fans thought that Gears series was done. Okay, Gears of War Judgment was not the best Gears. Either was what was it, Halo 5, like Joey was just talking about?
Yeah.
But hear me out. Gears 6 is going to be amazing, right? But let's go to Gears 5. Gears 5 has one of the best stories. Joey hasn't beat it yet, but Gears 5 has one.
I'm on part 3. I'm getting there.
Okay.
Joey hasn't beat it yet, but JoJo hasn't beat it yet. But going back to Gears 2 was Gears 2 was ranked at the top of being one of the best stories.
Gears 2 was great
in the Gears franchise.
Gears 2 was great.
And they thought that was squandered with Gears Judgment, but they brought out Gears 5. And look at them. So I'm thinking Halo Infinite has that. Halo Infinite will squander and wipe away all the wrongdoing that Halo 4, because Halo 4 wasn't that good either. I'm going to be honest.
Halo 4 wasn't good, but it was still enjoyable.
Halo 3 is the best Halo, besides
Yes.
Reach. But Halo Reach is my favorite Halo of all time.
I'm
Anyway.
playing that when I get off tonight, by the way.
Going on that, Halo Infinite is the Gears 5. Basically what I'm trying to say. So Halo Infinite will do this will do the series good and bring back all the good fans and some new fans as well.
Okay, that's your prediction on Halo Infinite?
Yep.
Not even piggybacking off, like just like the like another thing, like piggybacking off of that. Gears 5 is like still going, by the way. Like they just added like a separate campaign. Yeah, so like if they don't do it in the initial campaign, a lot of the stuff that I was talking about, they could do it in like a second campaign for the game, because it's going to be a very long time till they make another Halo game after Halo 6.
I mean,
Might even stop it all.
Monster Hunter World, they added so much with Monster Hunter Iceborne. Like, it was already like a decent game. Like, I love the Monster Hunter franchise, but like World left out a lot of like monsters that I really enjoyed. So when they brought them back for Iceborne, like DLC can make or break. Like, it can make a good game great, or it can make a bad game good. So
It's honestly, yeah, agreed.
Yeah, that's kind of my thought. I think Halo Infinite could potentially do a little bit of damage. I don't think Halo's legacy could ever be fully destroyed because of what it did when the series first came out and what it's done over the years. But Halo Infinite, this is a game that really a lot of people want to be good, and they're hoping that it's good.
Cross-play compatibility.
It definitely deserves to be on this list. Let's be honest. It definitely deserves to be on this list because it has a lot not going right for it. But sometimes you just got to hope and believe, and sometimes it ends up being good.
They're on the right path. They're, no matter what, like it's said about the game right now, it's on the right path. And I think that's what the people at 343 are doing to honor Bungie. Because even if, like, just like a tie-in to this, I don't know if you guys know about it. I think it's Destiny 2, but they have an Easter egg relating to Halo and Destiny 2 in one of the missions.
Oh, they do?
Yeah, I can't remember the name of like the little like orb thing that follows you, but you get to all these like capsules of heroes, and like there's this hero's like it was kind of like a wake me when you need me moments. Like I tried to wake him up, but he said he was like his war was over. Like he's fought in countless wars. Like he's done. He's hung up the helmet, and it's Master Chief.
Yeah,
because it's just
I seen it.
I didn't even know it existed until like recently, and I was just like, oh, dude, that's Bungie's like last hurrah for like all the diehard like Halo fans, and like the way they're going, like I said, they're on a really good track. They are incorporating a lot of good elements that like a lot of Halo players like myself were doing for like the longest time, just kind of like doing their own route within like the set course levels, but it's like they're doing it to a way where we have like more of like a path, like more choice in it, and I like that they're doing that. They're definitely have like a really good roadmap available. They just really need to work out the kinks.
Yeah,
it's gonna be good. I'm still like looking forward to it.
Yeah,
I'm gonna give it a fair shot, like I give every Halo game a fair shot.
Yeah, I would. Yeah, I mean,
like Melio said, Halo 4.
Yeah,
Halo 4 was not the shiniest diamond in the patch. It did have its perks, though. It did have a lot of good perks to it. I got most of my like pro moments on Halo 4.
Okay.
All those rogue kills. On a mongoose, if I may add. You know how hard it is to get a rogue kill on a mongoose in the middle of a firefight? With tanks, it's fun. It's a lot of fun. It takes a lot of skill.
All right.
But it's a good time.
Okay. All right, so that's the 10 games that might suck. And before we go, I just want to talk to.
It was number 9. Let's go through the rest of the list, man.
That was we went through everything on the list.
Wait, that's the list?
That was the list.
What? Oh God, man, that flew over my head. That flew over my head.
It was Outlast Trials, Gotham Knights, Dark Pictures Anthology, Anthology, House Ashes, Far Cry 6, Returnal, No More Heroes 3, Lord of the Rings Gollum, Resident Evil Village, Stalker 2, Halo.
That flew over my head. Oh my god.
Yeah. So
I'm glad we ended on Halo.
because our friend missed the top 10 video games of 2020, I just wanted to see. Did you see what was number 1 on the games of 2020?
No, what was it?
Cyberpunk.
Oh, Cyberpunk is amazing. I don't care what no one says.
Dude, the game
The
is
graphics.
Yeah.
Well, he has an Xbox One X though, so I mean he has like some leniency.
Listen,
Okay, yeah, I think
He has some leniency. He can actually play the game.
it's the
I
story.
think
It's every side quest that you do. It links to the end of the game. If you don't do none of the side quests and you go into the end of the game, you don't have no one to back you up for it, right? But
Okay.
if you go through and you help everyone through the end of the game, right? You can either pick who you want to help you at the end of the game to finally finish your mission, because you go through the whole game helping everyone else. But when it comes time for them to help you, they have that chance to help you.
Okay. All right. So that was our first podcast ever, and hopefully we'll be doing a whole lot more of these. And can't wait to see what we do later on.
As always, everybody listening, if you like it, click that like button. In fact, spam it like you spam the F in the chat. And if you really liked it, like anyone who watches Shawshank Redemption, hit that subscribe button.
And also, one more thing I gotta say.
All right.
All right, let's do our sign off, boys. You know who it is. It's your boy JoJo.
It's Diggs Gaming.
It's KB.
And it's Sir Meliodas.
All right. See you guys next time.
We'll see you guys next time.
All right, guys. See ya.
And remember, hugs, not drugs. We'll see y'all next time, folks.
Signing out.